Hey guys, it's Essie, and this is my first ever collective book haul. I've collected over January and February, so that's why it's called Collective Book Haul. So let's get right into it. So for the first book, well, it's actually a series, and it's the Wings series by April Lynn Pike. This book is about a girl named Laurel, which she discovers who she is because she thinks that she's an ordinary girl. But one morning, she finds a flower blossom on her back, and she finds out that everything is not what she seems, that her family isn't really her family. She was adopted. And she finds out she's a fairy, and to try to figure out who she is and where she came from, there comes this other alluring fairy who has the key to her past and is trying to help her fight against the evil that she's trying to save her human family. And there's a love triangle in this series, and it's really like twists and turns, and like it might look like it's not much, like a kid's book, but it's good. I love this series. The next book in my haul is Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This book is about a girl who she's arriving at the airport for her flight to her father's second wedding, and along the flight she meets this hot British guy, and they get to know each other during the flight, and once they get to the arrival of their destination, they lose each other in the mix of the chaos of arrival. And throughout that, they're trying to connect with each other, and this all happens within a 24-hour period. It sounds really good, and like I said, I'm gonna give Jennifer E. Smith another try because I'm not really a big fan of what This Is What Happy looks like, so I hope this is really good. It sounds good, so yes. The next book is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This book is about a girl named Ruby. On her 10th birthday, something about her changes to where her parents lock her in the garage and call the police. And she's sent to this rehabilitation camp by the government. She's one of the Americans' children that wasn't killed by this disease. And her and this group of other kids with the ability break out of the camp, and someone in the group that broke out of camp with Ruby is falling hard for her. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. Next book is 10 Tiny Breaths by K.A. Tucker. This book is about a girl named Casey, and in her life, a lot of bad things have happened. People have been taken away from her, people have died that are really close to her, and she's watched her mom take her last breath. So Cassie picks up her stuff and leaves the town with her 15-year-old sister. And they go to this new town, and one of the apartments, their neighbor, is this really hot guy that's trying to find a way into Cassie's heart because she's so guarded from all of her experience with family tragedies, and she's just so close up from that. And he's trying to find a way to knock her wall down and be there for her. It sounds really good, really suspenseful, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. My next book is the first book in a trilogy called The Pledge by Kimberly Durting. It's about this girl, I don't really know how to pronounce her name. I think it's like Charliana? I don't know, but she's 17 and she lives in a world where classes of people are separated by the language they speak. And she has a secret ability to speak all languages, and that's not normal. And the only way people can escape to like shake off like all the rules of the society is underground clubs. And that's where she meets Max, where he speaks a different language that Charlie, let's just call her Charlie, that Charliana has never heard of, and she speaks all the languages. So she's trying to figure this guy out, meanwhile trying to like save her own life and her family's life. And I've already read this book, and it's good. I love this book. My next book is Angel Burn by L.A. Weatherly. It's about a girl named Willow, and she can see into the future and see people's dreams. This guy named Alex, who's an assassin for one of her kind. Meanwhile, while he's trying to find her and fight her, he falls in love with her, sworn enemy. And then he discovers that nothing is really as it seems, and good and evil. And it sounds really good and really different, and I saw the cover of it and it looked pretty to me, so I picked it up, and I don't regret it. My next book is the second book in a trilogy, I believe, and it is called The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. And if you haven't read The Fifth Wave yet, mute. I'll put some picture right here, and when it's gone, you're safe. So, this is about Cassie Sullivan and her friends who escaped the fourth wave, with the fifth wave nearly rolling on the surface, and with humans nearly exterminated. They're waiting for Evan Walker to return and help them fight against the aliens. Meanwhile, bracing the winter, they're searching for other survivors before the aliens get to them, because the next attack is nearly impossible to escape. This is a lot shorter than the fifth wave, so I'm not really expecting much from this, but I hope it's still good. I hope I'm wrong about it. And I know that there's a third book coming out of this one, so I hope the series will be good like the first one is. My next book is Unraveling by Elizabeth Norris. This book is about Janelle Tanner, and she's in her junior year of high school. She gets hit by a pickup truck and killed. But what she didn't expect is to open up her eyes to find Ben Michaels in her room. He's a loner from her school, and she's never talked to him before, and this is the first time that they've encountered each other. But even though she knows it's impossible, she knows that Ben has brought her back to life. And while she's snooping through her dad's FBI files to solve the puzzle of how she died and now is alive, she uncovers a clock that's ticking down to something that she doesn't know what it's ticking down to. And then someone close to Janelle has been killed, and she realizes she can't deny the truth, and she is now rushing against the clock to solve the puzzle. She realizes if she wants to stop the end of the world, she has to unravel Ben's secrets and keep from falling from him also. My next book is an apocalyptic book called The Poison Princess by Cressley Cole. Evie Green is a 16-year-old girl, and she has a really good life, and she has a lot of money, and recently she's been having hallucinations. And then an apocalyptic event happens in her hometown, and she realizes the hallucinations are actually visions into the future of what's happening. She's desperate for answers and fighting for her life, so she turns to the bad boy of her school. Jack has a bad reputation at school. He's the bad boy, and when Evie asks him for help to find the answers to her questions, he agrees to protect her along her quest to find those answers. And she doesn't know if she can trust him or not, and she doesn't know if she can possibly resist him or not. And there's other people that got the same calling also. There's an ancient prophecy playing out, and Evie is not the only one with a special power. A group goes in to reenact the battle between good and evil, but they can't always tell who's on whose side. And I've already read this book, and it is good. But it gets kind of confusing in the beginning. But once you get through the book, it is a really good book. And my next book is a book that I can't really talk about because I haven't read the second book that's before the book, but it's called Dead of Winter by Cressley Cole, and it's the third and final book in the Poison Princess series. So I recently just bought this book, so I can't really say much about it because I don't want to spoil myself about it. My next book is Falling Under by Gwen Hayes. It's about a girl named Thea, and she lives a sheltered life, and she doesn't have the freedom of what other teenage girls can do. But when this really hot boy appears in the hallway of her school, and she feels this attraction to him, that urge that she's trying to resist, and she knows she's seen him before, but not in the hallways of her school, but in her dreams. But Thea knows that the incredible pull that she feels between them is stronger than her fear, and once she discovers what Hayden is, she's not sure if she wants to resist him or be with him, even if it costs her her soul. It sounds very alluring and dark, and it's really interesting, so I really am excited to read this. The next book is the third last book in this haul, and it's The Death Cure by James Dashner. In this book, when Wicked said at the end of Square's trials that the trials are done, everything is complete, Thomas can't trust him anymore because they always lied to him saying the maze was the last of the trials, but then they get thrown into another trial, and he doesn't believe them anymore because he can't. And Thomas remembers more than the Wicked thinks he knows, and it's enough proof that He can't believe a word Wicked says. And meanwhile, he's trying to save his friends, and the truth might end everything. Wicked end their life. It sounds really intense, and I love the Maze Runner and the Scorched Trials, so I can't wait to read this book. And the Scorched Trials comes out this September, I think, in theaters, so I'm excited for that. My second to last book in this haul is Coincidence of Callie and Caden by Jessica Sorensen. This is about Caden and Callie, but Caden is suffering in silence and he thinks that's the only way to survive. But one night, it seems like his life is about to end, until a girl named Callie appears just in time to save him. Callie has never believed in luck because of things that happened in her life. She's locked away her feelings and told herself never to trust anybody. Now 6 years later, she is struggling with the secret that she's holding inside her that is like consuming her. But when Faith leads Callie and Caden to a community college, it's Caden's turn to now save Callie's life. This book seems really interesting, and I mean, just look at the cover. It looks really good to me. My last book in my haul is Wait For You by Jennifer L. Armentrout and Jay Lynn. It's about this girl named Avery who's 19 and is entering college to escape what happened at a Halloween party 5 years ago. An event that changed her life and that she wants to leave in the past. And she never planned on catching the attention of this one guy that could break the future that she's building up for herself. Cameron is a guy that is tall and hot with striking blue eyes. He has the ability to make Avery want things in her life that she thought was stolen from her. And he brings out a side of her that she never knew existed. But when Avery receives threatening emails about her past that she wants to keep buried, when the truth comes out, will she be able to survive it, or will she need the help of Cameron to help survive? This book sounds really good, and So yeah, and there you have it. That is my first ever collective book haul. I hope you liked this video. Thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Also, follow me on Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram at Essyreads. I'll see you guys later. Bye! My third to last book in my haul is The Death Curt.